decided we needed another shed in the backyard. We sort of had an overflow of equipment and shovels and hoses and the like, and we priced out prefab sheds at Home Depot and so forth. And you know, even a tin shed was going to be about $800, and we didn't want to invest that sort of money in storage. So we opted for temporary storage. This prefab tent, essentially. My wife was opposed to the idea initially. She thought it would look like a big orange tent in our backyard, and it does, sort of, to be honest. But it does the job. The trick, of course, is getting it up, and the mistake I made was trying to put this up by myself. To get the legs stabilized was a chore. It's somewhat dangerous as well. The piping is aluminum, so if it falls, it could give you quite a nasty bump in the head. So finally my kids came over, and it was Father's Day, and they helped me erect the skeleton of the shed. The instructions are relatively straightforward, but you have to read them carefully. Study the pictograms closely. A mistake I made as well was jumping forward. I would tighten things or pound things in, and then have to backtrack later and undo those things because I had taken that process in the wrong step. You can see the beams across the bottom. I'm going to have to remove those later because the tenting, the skin of the structure threads through it. It was raining heavily for weeks, it seemed, in my area in the spring, so it was days sometimes between work on the shed, and I would forget what step I was at and have to retrace my steps. But the next challenge, was just trying to figure out how to get the skin secured around the poles. The ratchets that tighten the structure, pay close attention to those. What you're going to want to do is insert those into the straps almost right away, because if the straps make their way out of the skin, you're going to have a hard time getting them back in. So really, once you do it once, it's easy. It's not a hard structure to put up, but it's a little bit hard to figure out. I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. I mean, it's in a secluded part of our backyard, and it serves exactly the function I wanted it to serve. It holds the snowblower and the lawnmower and various other tools and cans of gas, and it frees up our other shed, for garden equipment and shovels. We've accumulated a lot of things over the years, like any other suburban household does in this day and age. Yeah, make sure everything's tight. You're gonna want to ratchet it pretty tight as you can get it. We had more rain, and I found it pooling in the roof part of the tarp, and I was poking it with a stick to sort of get rid of the water. But ratcheting it tight solved that problem.